This is the portfolio rubric guidance for standard PK.RI.KID.2. With prompting and support, orally identify the main topic and retell key details of a text, the discussions, and activities that you have done in class for an informational text. When assessing this standard, you want to have spent a lot of time reading this text. This text should be familiar to your students from multiple read alouds in class. Also notice in this pre-K standard, it's the text, discussions around this topic, and activities that you have done in class with this text and about this main topic. So students are going to be able to talk to you about this main topic and the details that they have learned. In kindergarten, the difference between these two standards is it is no longer a discussion or activities. They are able to stick to what they learned from the text. Details are describing or retelling something from the text, but key details are explaining or describing the main topic. So for this standard, it is not retelling or describing the story. It is retelling key details. They are describing that main topic that the text is about. So an example would be, if your main topic is insects, you may have read several books about insects. You may have had discussions about insects. You may have done some activities about insects. And the students are able to tell you key details that they have learned about insects. You'll see here an example would be, if they tell you that ladybugs are insects, that's just a detail. That's not a key detail, something specific about insects. A key detail might be that insects have 6 legs. Another key detail might be that insects have 2 antennae. After you have read this informational text and you have done discussions and activities, then you can ask students questions to determine if they know this main topic and some of the key details from the text. The student orally answers all of these questions. This is an oral assessment. We have put here in the rubric some suggested questions that you could ask students, but you are welcome to ask your own questions in order to get students to tell you the main topic and some of the key details. What did they learn about that main topic from the text, from your discussions, and from your activities? Notice that this standard also includes prompting and support. Prompting and support is having the book available, having charts available, having story webs, anything you used in class to teach this main topic. Students can look at that information. The questions that you ask are not prompting and support. That is the task. When uploading evidence for this standard, you must upload a video recording because these are oral responses. This is an oral assessment. This is not a writing assessment. The responses should not be on paper. You must also upload an answer key to go with your video, letting the scorer know that the questions that you ask and what were the correct answers the students should have said. This is a verbal assessment, so both things must be included, a video and an answer key. Once you have your student work, then you will use this rubric to score the student work. When asking these questions, along with the prompting and support, if the student cannot identify any aspect of the main topic, the text, they are totally off topic, that would receive the score of a level 0. If the students can tell you some information about this text, but they're not able to tell you the main topic or details about that main topic, that would score a level 1. If the student is able to tell you the main topic, or they can tell you one detail that they learned about that topic, then that would score a level 2. If they can provide the main topic and a detail that they learned about that topic, that is a score of a level 3. At level 4, they are able to orally say the main topic, but they can give more than one detail of what they learned around that main topic, that would receive a level 4. If students are able to um, orally tell you the main topic and give you at least one key detail. So at level 5, the difference between level 5 and level 3 is now you are moving into a detail about the text. It is no longer about discussions or activities. It's about the specific text. At levels 0 through 4, again, at pre-K, they are able to talk about a main topic that you may have read several texts about. You may have done several activities, had several discussions around that topic. That's at the pre-K level. At level 5, we are moving to above pre-K, not quite kindergarten, but now they are able to stay on topic of that text and what did they learn from that text. At level 6 and 7, it is from the kindergarten standard, and it's very similar to level 5, but they can give you at least 2 key details, something very specific that they learned from the text that you read about that topic. And at level 7, they can give you at least 3 key details along with the main topic from the text that you read.